I Buenasera was popping. You already know who this is. Your boy Big Rich. Fresh off the streets of Queens. Stop hating on the kid. I'm in the street grinding. I'm making paper. You understand? Because it's all about business before we get into the story. Out of respect. Throw some smoke in the air right now. Hold on. I just got home. I can't wait to light this. I've been waiting to come home all day. Hold on. A little cactus flower resin mixed with some purple cheese. Hold that in your pipe. You understand what I'm saying? So don't forget to let me know what you're smoking now. Here's the thing. We're going to start doing the 420 reports again this week. I need everybody that's smoking on something that likes to bless the atmosphere with the smoke, bless the situation, as we say in Queens, roll a bean. I need you to send pictures of what you're smoking to ruckusradio87 at gmail.com. Put subject 420 report and send me your picture and whatever name the bud is, and tell me who to shout out when we start the show, because I want to start doing my 420 report again, showing some bud. Let's show. I want to know. I want to see what people are smoking and talk about it. Tell me the strain so we could talk about it, and also we'll talk about some 420 news articles really quick as well. So that's coming this week. So let me know what you're smoking. Cactus flower live resin. Look it up with some purple cheese. You could just imagine the flavor. It's like amazing. All right, let's get to business. Let's get down to business. Mob Spotlight, episode number 4. The Clown. Profile of Chicago Mafia boss Joseph Lombardo. They say profile, we say spotlight. Same shit. Salute to David Omaruso. We throw respect on your name for the article. Joseph Lombardo was considered one of the longest leading members of the Chicago outfit. He was nicknamed the Clown and proved that he could play that role. When he was arrested in 1964 for beating a man who owed him money, he made it impossible for the police to take a good mugshot of him by opening his mouth in a wide yawn. It was typical Joey the Clown acting goofy to outsmart the law. His fellow mobsters and his opponents in the FBI considered him a smart criminal and stone killer first. His clown act was just that, an act. Lombardo grew up as one of the 11 children in a poor Depression era Chicago family. Growing up, he had lots of jobs ranging from shining shoes, being a paperboy, and handling room service at the Blackstone Hotel. He graduated from Wells High School, but eventually decided the criminal life was to be his kind of life. He committed burglaries and worked as muscle for neighborhood loan sharks, becoming a trusted associate and later a member of the Chicago outfit by the 1960s. He allegedly made his bones by killing mob associate and hotel owner Manny Scar in 1965. Lombardo shadowed Scar for 2 days until he killed him as he exited his car to enter his apartment on Lakeshore Drive. Lombardo proved a capable killer for the outfit, and the feds noticed it too. According to retired FBI agent Jack O'Rourke, that's a great FBI name, Jack O'Rourke. He was vicious and a killer. He was their prime enforcer. Prime. By the 1970s, Lombardo was a capo of the Grand Avenue Street crew. He controlled numerous businesses, both legal and illegal. He also controlled Anthony Spilotro. Spilotro was the man Chicago had sent to Las Vegas to protect his operations there. In the movie Casino, Joe Pesci, it was based on Anthony Spilotro. He answered to Lombardo and executed his orders. Lombardo was also the man who handled Alan Dorfman, who controlled the Teamsters Central State Pension Fund for the outfit as a front. Dorfman approved countless loans to mobsters who invested the money in casinos and other ventures via the frontmen. Some of the loans were repaid, but others were not. You couldn't muscle the mafia. I think this Alan Dorfman had to do with, if I'm not mistaken, what's his name? Jimmy Hoffa, right? I think that's where Alan Dorfman comes in. I heard a really cool podcast about Alan Dorfman. Maybe we should do a spotlight on Alan Dorfman because he was kind of gangster in a way, making all this money, He had control of all this money that the mobsters were using to build Vegas. It was crazy. Dorfman approved countless loans to mobsters who invested the money in casinos and other ventures via frontmen. Some of the loans were repaid, but others were not. You couldn't muscle the mafia. Seeing how Lombardo was given these important tasks by his outfit superiors, one can only come to the conclusion that he was considered an intelligent and capable monster. But no matter how capable, witnesses still caused the outfit major headaches. In 1974, Lombardo and five other, including Dorfman and Spilotro, were indicted and charged with defrauding the Central States Teamsters Pension Fund of $1.4 million. It would be a complicated case to prove involving several companies and thousands of bookkeeping records, but a cooperating witness would make things a lot easier for prosecutors. Disgracia. One of the involved company's owners had decided to become a witness. Daniel Seffert was a 29-year-old Chicago businessman with a wife and child. At one point, he had got involved with Lombardo and other mobsters, but not as a victim. He and Lombardo were close friends. Seyfert's son, was named Joseph after Lombardo, who was also godfather of the boy. But upon hearing about Seyfert's betrayal, Lombardo had no second thoughts about taking action. On an early Friday morning in September 1974, Seyfert and his wife and 4-year-old son stopped by his plastics factory when four men wearing ski masks and armed with guns showed up. Emma Seyfert and son Joseph were pushed into the bathroom by one of the gunmen. Later, she testified, "He told me to be quiet and not to worry. Then I heard a gunshot and the men left my side. Then I didn't hear anything for a few seconds." Daniel Seffert was running for his life, but several shots forced him to the ground. There, one of the gunmen delivered the final shot at point blank range to his head. With Daniel Seffert removed from the case collapsed. Lombardo and his five co-defendants were acquitted. With Lombardo and Spilotro free to run their business, the skimming of the Las Vegas casinos continued, but law enforcement was on their trail. In 1978, two big investigations into organized crime in Las Vegas were launched. Phones were tapped, locations and mobsters were put under surveillance, and thanks to the information uncovered through these observations, the feds raided several spots, uncovering even more damaging info. The first investigation was called Operation Pendorf and went after Alan Dorfman and his mob pals defrauding the Teamsters Fund. In May 1981, Dorfman, Lombardo, and Spilotro were indicted and charged with conspiracy to bribe Senator Howard Cannon and defraud the Central States Pension Fund of the Teamsters. Spilotro would stand trial at a later date to health problems. Lombardo and Dorfman were found guilty. Worried that Dorfman would flip and give up all he knew about the mob's business interests, they had him killed before he talked or went to prison to serve his sentence. Lombardo was on his way to prison, though. He received a sentence of 15 years. In November of 1992, Lombardo was released from prison. He was still on parole and could not meet any of his fellow mobsters. Several Chicago newspapers ran big stories about his release and possible rise to the position of boss of the outfit. As a result, Lombardo placed a public notice in the ad section of several newspapers in which he stated the following: "I am Joe Lombardo. I have been released on parole from federal prison. I never took a secret oath with guns and daggers, pricked my finger, drew blood, or burned paper to join a criminal organization. If anyone hears my name in connection with any criminal activity, please notify the FBI, local police, and my parole officer, Ron Kumke." Things remained quiet. No one even knew who the boss in Chicago was, but by 2005, the outfit was again the focus of the newspapers. In the spring of 2005, the FBI brought indictments against the leading members of the outfit, charging them with racketeering conspiracy that involved illegal gambling, loan sharking, extortion, and murders that date back decades. Among those indicted was Joseph Lombardo, but he had vanished from the scene. Now, in his late 70s, he again seemed to outsmart the law. But in January 2006, he was arrested in a Chicago suburb. He had grown a long beard that resembled the one Saddam Hussein had when he was captured. Kind of looks like Tommy Chong, right? A little bit. After a trial booming with stories that could and did fill several Hollywood movies, Lombardo and his mob buddies were found guilty. Lombardo was found guilty of racketeering, conspiracy, obstruction, and impending an official proceeding, and the Daniel Seifert murder. After several decades in which the Chicago outfit ruled large parts of the United States, made millions defrauding the Teamsters Pension Fund and Las Vegas casinos, committed scores of murders, the few men still alive to be held accountable were found guilty. Lombardo received a life sentence. On October 19 of 2019, Joseph Lombardo passed away. Lombardo died at the age of 90 while incarcerated. So this is the reason why we did a profile on the Chicago Mafia boss, Joseph Lombardo, because he passed away a couple of days ago. So rest in peace. This man was not to be fucking messed around with, all right? If he's friends with Spilotro, we already know Anthony Spilotro was a fucking maniac. So rest in peace. Respect on your name. Salute, like, comment, share, subscribe, and make sure you like the videos. You understand what I'm saying? This was a mob spotlight. You already know how we get down. Salute.